Well, hey there, Knolly Williams here, your success coach. And in this video series, I want to talk about why you should be self-employed. You should be self-employed. And I'm going to make this a two-part series just because there's a lot of ground to cover and I want to make sure that we cover it all. So why you should be self-employed, okay? That's right. You should be self-employed. Now, many people, and by the way, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author, trainer, speaker, coach. I'm also an entrepreneur. I started as an entrepreneur when I was 13 years old. It's something that's just in the blood. And back then, I would help my dad. He would work in the flea markets and he would sell handcrafted jewelry. And so what I did was I set up my own stand where I would create buttons from this. I had like a little button stamp machine that I, for the young people. I was probably, at that time, I guess I was about 13, 14. And I would buy posters wholesale and sell posters of famous artists. And I would sell whatever I could to make profit, to make money, okay? And I've always liked the process of making money. So many people are talking about, going and getting a job. And that might be great for some people. If you're watching this, you're thinking about starting your own business, becoming self-employed, maybe getting into real estate, the field that I'm in currently, or something else, and I own several businesses, okay? I started my very first real business. In other words, I've never worked for anyone else since the age of 23 years old. So at that age, it was a year after my wife and I had married, I started a magazine. Okay, that was the first company I started. It was just me and my Mac computer, and I started a magazine. It was a Christian rap magazine, rap music, which I was really big into. And I was a rapper back then too. So then, after that, I started a record label. Okay, so I was 23 when I started this business. And about the same year, I started my record label, and this record label grew. The magazine didn't grow so much, but the record label grew to where we had 14 employees and 18 artists on the label. Okay, and at the height of it, we're making $150K per month. Okay, in that business. Then, when the music industry tanked in about 2003, I got into real estate, which is where I'm at now, okay? And I'm 50 years old as of the time of this video, and I got into real estate when I was 33 years old, okay? And it has been absolutely great, and I mean, it's been phenomenal to me. In the aftermath of COVID, we're actually right now in 2020, we're in April of 2020, and we're going through this whole COVID thing, and we're seeing it play out. And many people are losing their jobs. In fact, I was just reading an article yesterday. Artemis, my coach, showed me an article where about 450,000 people in the service industry are in the midst of losing their jobs, right now. And I got to tell you, you should be self-employed. You absolutely should be self-employed. And if this is something that God has called you to, now that we got to have workers out there. So if you've been called to be a worker, that's okay. But I want to show you in this video why it's so important for you to consider the idea of being self-employed. Now, today I own several businesses, and I tell people eventually as you become self-employed, you become more adept at it, you're going to probably have multiple streams of income. So I have, right now I'm in real estate, so I have real estate sales, okay, as one avenue. I'm also a coach and trainer, okay? So I have training and coaching, which probably 97% of this is free, okay? But I still have some things that people can buy, toolkits and products and things like that. I have a software business, okay? So I own a CRM called More Solds, and it's a CRM for real estate agents to help them in their business. And the big thing that I'm doing is I do revenue share through EXP Realty. And what revenue share is right now, as of this recording, we have 101 agents that have partnered with me, and they're part of my Mentorship Masters group. And so when they do production, the way this company works is it's an 80-20 split. And when my agents do production, 20% goes to the company, and I get a piece of that. So every time they sell a house, now I'm coaching and training and teaching them to their ultimate greatness. And a lot of the agents come to me and they have very little amount of skills. And so I skill them up, I get them out there, and I get them into production, where they're working about 4 hours a day, making about $100,000 a year. Okay, that's the goal, working part-time. And it goes on. I have several other what we call JVs, which are joint ventures. They're partnerships that I have with other companies. So this is kind of what my world looks like now, and this is the trajectory of how I got started. Okay, why should you be self-employed? So in part one, I want to just re-emphasize something, and then we're going to continue this into part two. So this is one of my favorite books by Richard Maybury, okay, and it's called Uncle Eric Talks About Personal, Career, and Financial Security. Okay, now Richard Maybury goes by the name of Uncle Eric, and he's written a series of books. One of my other books that I like that he's written is this one right here called Whatever Happened to Penny Candy, and it talks about the inflation. Really, it's a book all about the effects of inflation, the national debt, and stuff, nerdy stuff like that. But this guy is an economics professor, and he teaches some very phenomenal stuff. And I want you to listen to this. This is very, very, very important to understand this. When you're making the decision, am I going to be an entrepreneur, or am I going to continue as an entrepreneur? Or if you're already an entrepreneur and you're thinking, man, I'm going to go get me a job, that hasn't worked out for a lot of people, the whole job thing. Now, having your own business hasn't worked out for a lot of people either. Why? Because they don't have the right mentor. And that's the reason why I personally created Mentorship Masters, to mentor people to their ultimate greatness so that they will succeed. Now, before I share this, let me share with you one thing that I think will help you understand this a little bit better. And that is, according to entrepreneur.com, did a study, okay, and here's what they found. Okay, and there was a number of studies done by different people. One was entrepreneur.com. I think USA Today did a study, and a few others did studies as well. So here's what they found. 80% of all businesses, okay, say small businesses, fail. You're like, Knolly, that's not news. We already know that, right? And in fact, did you know that 87% of real estate agents fail? That's according to National Association of Realtors. Only 87% of real estate agents are still in the business past 5 years. Okay? So, and this is the same. 80% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. Okay? Now, let's look at this. Now, I have other videos to explain why they fail and how you can succeed. So we won't go into that here, but look at this. 80% of all franchises succeed. They succeed. So when you look here, you can see the drastic difference. So only 20% of franchises fail, okay? And the reason why that's important for you to understand is if you run your business like a franchise. In fact, I have a whole study series on how to run your small business like a franchise. In fact, when you look at my spiritual business mastery, okay, remember that what I teach is the 8 pillars, okay? And let me go over those real quick. in this, I'll make that part of this part 1. I teach there's 8 pillars that you have to have in order to succeed at your highest level in any game. Okay. Now, what are those 8 pillars? Number 1, okay, you got to have the right mindset. Okay. Then, after mindset, you got to be involved in the right activities. You've got to have the right people, the right systems. Then you've got to have the right tools. Then you got to have the right money mindset. Okay. Most people, when I ask them, who taught you? They say, I want to make $1 million. Well, who taught you what you currently know about money? You got to go out and get some good money teachers. I'm one of them that can teach you the right stuff about money. I've made a 32-year study of money. Okay, so money is the next one. Then you've got accountability, and you've got training. Okay, so these are 8 different keys that you have to have if you want to succeed at the highest level in any game. Okay, but especially as being an entrepreneur. And then you got to remember that you have 4 bodies. Okay, you have a spiritual body, a physical body, a mental body, and an emotional body. And right here at the center, boom, bullseye, that is the Y-O-U, the you that is you, your ultimate purpose, your ultimate greatness, your destiny, who God created you in this realm to be. And most people never get to this, okay? They never get to the outside, they never get to the inside, and they never get to who they really are. So what I want to do, though, is I want to show you why you should, okay, why you should be self-employed, okay, why you should be self-employed. And I'm going to read a quick quote about the entrepreneur, and then we're going to get into the rest of this in part 2. So here's one of my favorite quotes from Uncle Eric. He says, the person who starts, owns, and runs a business is an entrepreneur. Okay, the reason that owning a business was the surest, honorable route to success was that when times were good, the owner of the business earned more than any of the employees. And when times were bad, the owner was the last person to lose his job. You know, that right there is an excellent argument for why you should own your own business. But what I want to do is I want to take you even deeper, and I want to take you back to the 1700s and the reality, okay, that working for someone else is a very new phenomenon, only been around for the last 300 years, okay? So stay tuned for part 2, where we're going to dig into why you should be an entrepreneur. Hey, I'm Knolly Williams. I love you. I want you to have the ultimate success that God has destined you for within this realm, okay? And if you like this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you watch the next one in this series and share this with those that you love. If you want to reach your ultimate greatness, be sure that you become a member of Knolly Success Coaching. You can get your free membership at knolly.com. You can become a member. And then I'm going to be able to coach you every single week to your ultimate greatness. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.